club and now you know we letting time fly. Can't stop, won't stop, hit the skyline while everybody else flies, cause I'm downright keeping things on.
What's going on, SC430 community? My name is Henry. Got another video here today on Operation Frankenstein. So ended up running into an issue where I would basically drive the car, you know, as normal, going to work. Operation Frankenstein is my daily car to go to work instead of Cypress. So when driving it, all of a sudden, when I press on the gas pedal, the car doesn't go nowhere. I'll be at a stoplight, right? No problem, right? Turns green, it's time to go. And then nothing. The car just rolls. So basically, the only way to get the car to actually move is putting literally the gas pedal to the floor as far as you can. And even with that, the car barely moves. Didn't get an engine light on the dash. I ended up finding out that the cluster was tampered with in its previous life, because obviously, remember, Operation Frankenstein's a rebuilt car, and it's been through a lot of owners and through a lot of issues, and it has had a really rough history. If you haven't seen that series of me rebuilding Operation Frankenstein, I definitely recommend it. It's definitely something cool to see. An SC430, you know, once neglected and now back on the road. But anyways, basically the cluster, the light doesn't turn on for the engine light, so I wouldn't have known if there was an issue or not. I took the cluster out and found out that it does have an engine light with the OBD scanner, right? And then when taking the cluster apart, there's electrical tape covering it up. That piece is actually right here. So they covered up the bulb, so I couldn't tell that if the light's been on for a couple days, months, or even when I finished rebuilding the car. Who knew? But it passed emissions, so it definitely wasn't something that's been going on for a while. And then some of the actual bulbs on the circuit board for the cluster came out. So big shout out to Calvin at SC430 Mods. I am sending my cluster to him to hopefully repair it so those lights still work as they should, right? In case there's something else happens, an engine light will pop up right before it's too late. And while we're at it, we're going to be upgrading that cluster to LED. So I definitely recommend it if you have a first generation SC430 between 2002 to 2005. Those super dim clusters are not very nice to have. You can send it to SC430 Mods and Calvin will swap it all out with LEDs and it'll look super clean, nice and bright, just like the second gen SC430s, the 2006 to 2010. But today's video, I'm going to show you my symptoms. So I'll play the clip now of basically what I was experiencing. Here's my symptom. Put the parking brake because I'm at a stoplight. Neutral. This is foot all the way to the ground. See that? It's like laggy and like no power at all. Foot all the way to the ground. You saw I barely even got to 3,000 RPM and it took a few seconds. Okay, so I'm gonna get over a speed bump here and I'll show you what it looks like when it comes to symptoms. I thought it was maybe a fuel pump issue, but you can see my gas tank is full, engine's warmed up as it should. Okay, let's see. Ignore that light, that's the leveling system, or headlight leveling system. Okay, foot on the floor right now. Like it's to the ground right now. Look how long it's taking to catch up. Horrible responding. There's no response time right now. So, with those engine codes, ended up getting 4 engine codes, so 2 oxygen sensor ones, and then what we're going to be trying to fix today is the accelerator pedal malfunction. So it's an electrical issue, most likely, because at first I thought it was a fuel pump issue or a throttle issue, but it looks like it's a pedal issue, so that helps us narrow it down to what it possibly could be. So I wasn't really too sure where to even start with it, but my guess, just from looking at the pedal system itself, there is a sensor that connects to the pedal. Basically, if you have a throttle controller, it'll connect to the throttle controller harness as well. I do have the throttle controller in it, so even using the throttle controller, it didn't make a difference with the pedal issue. So I ripped off with my 2007 SC430 parts car this guy. This connects to the pedal, so when you press the pedal right, this goes down, right, and then it'll tell the car how much you press the pedal down. So I'm thinking this is what's failing. We're gonna find out. So yeah, so we're gonna get started. I think the tools you're gonna really need is maybe if we need to take the undercarriage of the dash under the steering wheel out, we'll need a 10mm socket, maybe a screwdriver, a Phillips head screwdriver, and then I believe the bolts or fasteners or whatever that's holding this down on the pedal is a 6mm. It's really small. Usually Lexus will do, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 21, 22, and I think maybe 24. I don't think 24, but those are the most common sizes that I've seen and come across on the majority of the SC430s, but it looks like it's a 6 for whatever reason. So I'm going to show you how to swap it out, and then we'll check with the OBD2 scanner to see if it'll fix the problem and get rid of the engine code, because you never know, fixing this issue may fix the O2 issue as well. Because sometimes with the SC430, one issue, just because something fails in the car, it'll trigger a bunch of things. So just like the VSC on and off light, sometimes that light will turn on if there's just something generally wrong with the SC430 and there's an engine light. Sometimes, let's say, because I had a customer come in, his brake system, his ABS light turned on because it was low on brake fluid, and for some reason there was also, what he came in for originally is his climate control didn't work. So found out it was just a fuse. Just that fuse going out made the climate control stop working. Well, half of it stopped working. The turn signals didn't work anymore. ABS light turned on, plus not having brake fluid in it. The VSC on and off light turned on, and I think an engine code turned on as well. So all of those issues, you're like, okay, what the heck? There is so many things going on. What's happening? So the engine code for his car was, there was an evap leak. Fixed that. It removed the engine code. And then I fixed the fuse, put a new fuse in. It got rid of the ABS and the VSC, and it turned all the lights on. So you never know. Fixing one issue in the SC430 may just clean up everything else. Not sure why the SC430 is like that, but I think it's kind of common for a Toyota vehicle that I've seen in the past. I've just never seen it so bad on the SC430. But anyways, let's stop wasting time, and then we're gonna try to replace this and hope that removes the engine code on its own. Hopefully you can see the pedal, but the sensor, that's the throttle controller. The sensor is like up here where my finger's tapping, so it looks like we'll have to take this undercarriage off. So I'll show you how to do that. We're gonna first take this out, so you can kind of get it out, just getting your hand underneath and just pull upward. There is a cord, so be careful of that. You don't have to disconnect it if you don't want to, but I'm going to make it a little bit easier to not have so much crap in the way. I'll take that out. Then you want to remove this guy here. Just pull this all the way up to the top, and it will just come right out. That reason why we had to take that off is because I believe there's this bolt, this 10mm bolt that we're going to have to remove. This 10 right here. I can see it on camera, but I can't see it myself. So now basically you can pull this off, I believe, and then there will be some things we'll have to remove. There's that one. This one needs to pop off. Looks like something's holding it. Yep, there is one more underneath the parking brake here, directly where my finger's at. So on the left side there is another 10mm. So we'll take that out. That feels better. See, so it pops off. Pay attention to the fastening points. So there's two up here, and then you'll see some stuff sticking out. We're gonna unplug this guy. So this connects to the trunk button and the gas pump. This one down here is the latch to the trunk. I have the Bluetooth mod from SC430 mods in here as well, so I'm gonna have to take this cord and this cord and microphone out. So you may not have this over here like I do. I have it wired over here for some reason. There's this hose that I never disconnected probably, or never reconnected probably, that goes down here. So you'll have to take that out and unplug it as well. You will see the OBD scanner, is he in white? On the inside, where you would actually plug it in, there's a push tab. So you push the sides in, and then it pops, then it'll pop out. That's, so you can see tab on the side right here, and then there's one on the other side, and you press it in while pushing up and it'll pop out. The bulb that's right here, take that out. And then the last one is we're going to use that Phillips head screwdriver, where you would have to get underneath, and you can see these two holes here. So on the other side, when you pull the lever, you can get to the Phillips head screwdriver. So you do have to open up the lever to reach it in there. So my hood's already open, so it's just not a big deal to me. So, and then this comes out. So I'll move this out. So now, camera, you might be able to see it now. Taking this guy out right here, connects to the throttle controller and stuff. There we go, that's a better angle. So we're gonna have to disconnect it. So, like that. So we'll move this to the side. I have the throttle controller, so it does have that harness and little box. Okay, so we're going to be using a 7mm. It's a very odd nut size, but just one little twist and it should just come off pretty easy. Can even twist it off by hand. So there's one there. And then there's going to be one on the other side of it, which is not a very comfortable spot to get to, especially with the camera right here. But it's on the other side of this. So you basically have to use a socket or be very flexible in fitting in here. And then we should be able to just pull this out. Alright, so this is the one that was in the car. It's a little dusty, but hopefully this is the problem. And if not, it possibly could be the harness, depending on if I take, let's say, plug it back into the normal harness, the OEM harness instead of the aftermarket one. That may solve it as well, but we'll never know until we try it, because I don't mind swapping it out. So this is from a 2007. Appears to be the same, so it should work. Okay, so this little white knob goes into, there's like a little plastic piece up here that it kind of goes into for the pedal. I know this might be kind of in the way, but it's way up here. It's hard to show on camera while trying to put it in myself. But basically this white part goes through the pedal, and then there's a little plastic thing that's on it. So we go, might be easier to have the pedal pressed down to install. But basically, I need to put the camera out of the way, but basically let's see, there's this and this, the nuts. The little white tab goes through here and into this little piece right here. So we just basically got to fit shit in there and then get it to fit properly. Okay, so I went ahead and put the nuts back on. As you can see, it's in position. The little white tab is going into that section up here. Let's see. So now when you hit the pedal, it changes the sensor, right? As it should. So we're going to plug this back in, hoping that this wasn't the issue. Plug it in. Ignore that. That is a friend of mine with his Toyota Soror, which is the SC430, but has a right-hand driver with a turbo. So now everything's plugged in. We're going to leave everything back. We're not going to put anything back in yet, just because we want to test it to see if it removes the engine code on its own, or if we have to erase it and come back at a later time after I put this car back on the ground and test drive it. So, as you can see, I don't have the cluster, because remember I had it sent out to get fixed because the engine light on the cluster was covered up and was damaged. So I'm going to get it repaired. So the only way we're going to find out is by starting the car up and plugging this back. So let's start the car up. And then we're going to plug this in to the OBD that's hanging, that's dangling right here. Got this plugged in now. Trying not to get the glare. So press the key, waiting for the vehicle to respond. Currently shows 4 codes, so we'll read those. So it's telling me to select what vehicle it is, so we're going to go down to Lexus. So you can see, maybe go to sensor, heater circuit bank 1, sensor 2. Go to sensor heater circuit bank 2, sensor 1. Accelerator pedal position sensor circuit malfunction. And accelerator pedal position sensor range/performance problem. So that's what we were having before. We're going to erase them for now to see if they come back. Okay, so now they are technically gone. So now we can basically unplug this and go about our day and see if it comes back. So obviously I have the car jacked up, so we can't really check to see if it'll come back or not. So I'm just going to let the car warm up a little bit because it does have a little bit of a high idle. So I'm going to let it warm up a little bit, and from there we'll play around with the pedal and see if the rev is a noticeable change, or from, you know, revving it a few times, playing with the pedal, that the code will come back. So we will be back momentarily. Okay, so I am using the OBD2 scanner provided by SC430 mods. This is the app, or not the official app for SC430 mods. It's just any universal OBD scanner app. But you see the RPM, so we're at regular. So you can see it appears to be working normal. Okay, so let's see if we get any for reading or clearing. So we want OBD2. We'll press read and see if something pops up. Because if the O2 sensors come back, then that's another problem. That just means another YouTube video for you guys on how to replace those. So nothing right now. So that's for letting it run for a little bit, but not actually, you know, driving on the road. So hopefully that fixes it. I guess we'll circle back in a while once I put everything back together to see, you know, if it ever comes back. But that's how you fix that engine code due to a pedal sensor malfunction. It's probably going to be this guy. Alright, so now that everything is functioning as is, or at least for now before we test it, we're going to put everything back together in order sort of. So we'll shut the car off for now because we don't need to waste gas. And we'll start making some room to put things back. So we'll start, it doesn't matter what order, but we'll start with the bulb. Slide in there. You'll have to turn it a little bit so that it pops in like that, and then turn it clockwise about half a turn and it'll stay in place. You can do the OBD scanner, so make sure that cover goes in first in case you use it, then just pop it in like that. Then we can do, we'll probably do this side for this sensor. I believe, I'm not sure what it is exactly, but I'm pretty sure it might be like a temperature sensor. And then the hose itself goes in there. This one doesn't have a clamp, so don't worry about it. So, put that in there. And then we'll plug in the trunk and gas cap buttons. Then last one, we'll put that in place because that's held by the screw. So we'll put the screw in once we put this in. So then slide it in, plastic fastening points. Make sure if you line those up, it'll pop. It'll line up perfectly as it should. So pop it in there. And that one popped in on its own. Okay, so now we get the Phillips head screws, and we will put back what holds the hood latch in place. There's two of them. Don't tighten it super hard because it is plastic, and then you're fastening a screw to plastic, so plastic on plastic, you don't really need to. 10mm bolts, and we'll put it, the one on the side of the, and there's the one under parking brake button. And then one all the way down over here on the right side. Next we need to put this side piece back in. So pay attention to the fastening points. Alright, you got this, this, and this. So this guy right here is going to hook into this little knob that's up here. So there's a knob right here that'll go into. So you want to pop it into there and then line it up with the gold fastening points you'll see on the side by the rubber. And then it should just pop right in like that. For the mud guard, as they call it, make sure you want to plug it in first. And then the fastening points on the other side, orange tabs. And then the gold little things on the side. Line that up, because as soon as you pop in one of the plastic ones, they should all eventually line up. There you guys are. That's how you put everything back together and fix that engine code. If this video doesn't cut over to me running into the issue again, that's pretty much it. It's just that one little sensor that's connected to the pedal. Yeah, otherwise, that'll be it. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.
Can't stay in one place, we been outside, going at it all day till it's nighttime. Now I can't see straight, but it's alright.